What's up all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Disney Plus Star Wars show Cassian Andor. But guys, before I get into that, my channel is hardcore shadow banned here on YouTube, so every single like, share, comment really helps out my channel fighting the pesky YouTube algorithm. And if you guys haven't yet, maybe take a minute, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all, that way you actually get notifications when I post videos and live streams. And if all of those things don't work, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Locals. Locals actually will send you notifications, unlike YouTube. But guys, now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the topic. All right, so I have this article pulled up because so many people have been sending it to me. I usually don't cover Screen Rant articles because they're either just rumors or just completely made up, or in this case, this is an editorial. And for those that do not know, an editorial is an opinion piece. And this one was clearly made for clicks because it's titled, "Is Andor better than the original trilogy?" And at the end of the article, it's like, oh no, it's not. And it's like, well, no shit, Sherlock, of course it's not. But we are going to be talking about this because of the sheer amount of volume of people that asked me to discuss it. And also just because Andor has had 11 episodes now. And from what I have seen from the actually watching it and then the reaction, it seems to be pretty divisive from people that are, still currently watching it. Now, when I see people going and saying, oh my gosh, this is the best ever. Oh my gosh, it's so close to the original trilogy. And then I go and watch it. I'm like, is there some magical show that I missed that's under the same name? And am I watching the wrong show? Because for me watching it, it's incredibly boring. And yes, there are some scenes where there is action pack and it's like, oh, the animation or the special effects was done well, but at the end of the day, the story just isn't there. It's incredibly boring and drawn out. And it's very, very clear that this was supposed to be a movie. And because of the failure of Solo and then the success of The Mandalorian, they took this screenplay that they had from Tony Gilroy and they stretched it out into a 12-episode season. And it really shows. There's some, episodes where it's like this was clearly supposed to be just one scene, one short scene, and it got dragged out into a 45-50 minute episode. And it shows. It really shows because nothing really happens. And they're doing, they're really trying to drag it out as much as possible to make it a TV show. And it's very clear that Tony Gilroy, he's been on record saying that he doesn't like Star Wars and he has no interest, not because he's got contempt for Star Wars, just because he doesn't have interest in it and in the world. And so it's very clear that he doesn't know very much about the universe, because there is an episode, and I did stop doing dedicated reviews just because, guys, it's so boring. It's so boring. It's not like Rian Johnson or even like She-Hulk, where the people that are making this have contempt for the audience. It's just mediocre. Like one, it doesn't follow the rules of the Star Wars universe, and two, it's obviously I shouldn't say it's a planned out narrative, but it does have a plot to it, and it just drags because it was supposed to be a movie. And so in that sense, it's made it not bad, but it's mediocre. And what I think is going on right now is because people are so used to the people that are making Star Wars and Marvel now just to be giving a big FU to the fan base, that something that's not, people are like, oh my gosh, I've been getting fed dog shit for years now, and instead of getting fed dog shit, I'm getting fed dirt now, and oh my god, this dirt is like gourmet. And yes, for those of you that follow my channel, you guys will get the reference and you guys can laugh about me in the comment section. But that's literally the difference, is we have absolute dog shit, which is the Disney fan fiction sequel trilogy, and then you get the shows, which, okay, yes, we have Baby Yoda, which is cute. Mandalorian's a complete idiot and he should have died a million times in that show. And then Boba Fett, oh my god, that was just horrific. Absolutely horrific. And then you have this show, which is like, okay, it has a point, it's got a plot, it's got these characters, and they're all building up to this big event. And so there is a little bit of thought that's going into it. And if it was not in the Star Wars universe, if it was in a universe that didn't have aliens and robots and, you know, Sith and Jedi, it could make a little bit more sense. But because you have the guy that wrote it that doesn't really care about the universe, that doesn't know much about the universe, it doesn't make sense. Like having them on, having him go to a prison and everyone in this prison are humans instead of aliens. If anything, they would be majority aliens. And then making the comment, oh, it's cheaper to have humans than it is to have droids. It's like, well, that's 100% not true. That was the whole point of the droid army. Also, droids don't need sleep. They don't need breaks. They don't need food. And they don't need security, all of which are resources that are wasted on humans. And right there in and of itself, it shows that, you know, the people that are writing it and working on it don't know much about the universe that they're trying to, you know, pitch and sell to an audience. And at this point, I think the people that are left that are watching it aren't, you know, diehard Star Wars fans. They're either people that came in during the Disney era and they don't know too much about Star Wars, or they're people that are so desperately holding on to the hope of Star Wars that, again, it's kind of like being traumatized or having what is it, that syndrome where you like get an emotional bond to the person that's like captured you. It's Stockholm syndrome, that's what it's called. And so it's like, oh, I went from getting fed dog shit to getting fed dirt, like I said earlier. And it's like, oh my gosh, dirt is so much better than dog shit. And so, you know, you hold on to that, and there's little moments that give you a glimpse of what it could be like in this last episode with Stellan Skarsgård's character and him escaping the Empire. And it's like, oh, that was really good animation. You can see where the budget went in the entire episode, because the entire episode before that really, really dragged on. There was things that didn't make sense, like Cassian was in some apartment before he got taken to this prison, and he had this box that was on top of this little ledge, which was not very high, that anyone could have seen. And it's like, oh, him and his girlfriend, or I mean, whoever cleaned out his apartment would have found that box, but it's just conveniently still there, even though an alien is living in his apartment. It's like little things like that that don't make sense. It's like, if that was hidden in some secret compartment in the wall, it would make sense. But no, it's literally on top of a ledge over his shower. Doesn't make any sense. But oh my gosh, look, Stellan Skarsgård is in his ship, and it escaped the Imperial ship. Oh my gosh, it's great. Yay. And it's like, yeah, this is overrated. And I mean, I don't understand why people are dying on this hill. But again, when you go from having dog shit to dirt, I can understand where that appreciation would come from. So guys, the moral of the story here is that Andor is not the worst show ever made. It's, if you don't really know too much about Star Wars and how the Rebel Alliance was formed and who the main players were, and if you just want to sit there and just have something on, it's not the worst thing in the world. But even in our universe, there are just little plot holes that it's like, this really doesn't make too much sense. And I mean, if you're really bored and you just want to have something on and you got nothing else to watch, I mean, have this on in the background. If you're a big Diego Luna fan and you just want to have it on in the background, I mean, it's okay, but it's nothing to write home about. And out of all of the Disney Star Wars shows, I mean, this one clearly, it doesn't have contempt for the audience, which is, I think, why some people are holding on to that hope. But overall, we know where the story is going. None of the characters are really compelling. The acting actually is, you know, half decent in some scenes. And then it's very clear who is more talented. Obviously, Stellan Skarsgård is like a world-renowned actor, and so he owns every scene that he's in. Andy Serkis, again, phenomenal actor, but people are making a big deal about, oh my gosh, he's Snoke, and he went on the intercom and he did this thing, and like it made his voice sound like Snoke, and it's like, okay, and everyone was making a big deal about that scene, and then I was like, what's the big deal? Like, why is everyone talking about this? And I watch it, and I'm like, okay, he was like having a little bit of a mental breakdown, and then he gave a speech that wasn't even that compelling, but because there's a voice changer that made him sound like Snoke, people are like kicking and screaming about it on Twitter. It's really not that big of a deal. But again, there's nothing really going on right now as far as Star Wars goes. It's like, oh, we announce a movie and then we unannounce a movie. Oh, they're literally just trying to make the news at this point to keep people talking about it. And it's pretty sad because at this point, Disney has killed the brand so much that nobody really cares. And the people that do care, they actually don't really care. It's literally just something for them to make a big deal about on Twitter. And it's kind of sad that this is the state that Star Wars is in. But I mean, Disney did it to themselves and they sabotaged themselves. They had George Lucas. They had all of these, you know, novels and comic books that Kathleen Kennedy just apparently forgot about. And I mean, they have people that really, really care about Star Wars and the Star Wars universe that are very knowledgeable, and they just insist on not using them because they want to get as far away from George Lucas as possible. So, I mean, they shot themselves. You know, in Minecraft, YouTube overlords, they did this to themselves, and I really don't feel any sympathy because they honestly don't care about me or any of the other Star Wars fans that have, you know, been Star Wars fans our entire lives. They want to they want new Star Wars fans that don't know anything about it, and they want everything new and not tied to the originals. And it's like, well, all right, then you don't want my money, so I'm not going to give it to you. And that's kind of my feelings about it. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comment section. If you guys like this video, please smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And may the force be with you because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much again for supporting my channel and my content. And if you guys would like to support me further, my cosplay calendar, my gamer edition cosplay calendar is live still now on Indiegogo for a limited time only. We were very, very successful in the campaign and we are currently in demand. In demand is only going to be up for a limited time only, so be sure to go check it out before we take this down. And guys, once again, thank you so much for this. If you guys want to go and back this campaign, the link is down below in the description of this video, and make sure that you guys check it regularly because I do add updates on there and more photos are coming soon. So thank you guys. And last but not least, guys, I have a Twitch that I am trying to go. I am at 5.7K followers right now, and I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. So if you guys haven't gone and followed me over on Twitch, go and do so now. The link is in the description of this video. I play a lot of games on here like Elden Ring and KOTOR, so go check it out if you haven't already. And that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.